guys all saw the highlight of that. I think in real person it was impressive, but as we all looked at the highlight and saw that thing, that was unbelievable. Just like the having to kind of jump up and come down and catch it almost like an infielder playing a long hop in a sense, and then to make the throw that he made and put it where he put it, you know, it's incredible. You watch him out here play catch every day, and he practices that transfer and release. So just a super underrated player right now for me right now in the major leagues.
Rutschman has not gone on the IL during his time here. Do you think that's do you feel it's unusual, or is his body just up till now allowed him not to really break down?
He's been super durable, especially for a catcher. So, you know, unfortunately, if this is a thing, he's going to go. But, you know, hopefully it's not too long. You know, and it kind of goes back to, you know, understanding where we're at yesterday with the lineup and why we had to do some of the things that we did is, you know, when you play in that type of a heat, you know, down in Tampa, and you're playing in this long stretch and you're in the middle of the season, you know, it probably possibly puts you at more risk for things like that. So I have no idea why what happened at Adley, but it's something that, you know, in my seat right now, you're constantly trying to figure out and trying to mitigate a little bit.
You don't want him on the IL, but if he does go, how much comfort it is to have it a former All-Star to back him up behind the plate.
Yeah, it's a threat at the plate too, you know, and I think he's caught 2 or 3 games since he's been back, and giving up 3 runs or less in 2 of those 3 games behind the dish. So, you know, like the thought process back there. Couple wild throws in Tampa, but love the arm strength. I mean, the ball's coming out hot, so it's a threat as a base stealer. You got to think about that a little bit. And then obviously it's a guy that's really swung the bat well for extended periods in the big leagues over his career.
This is obviously not your decision, but anytime talk about Adley potentially missing time, Samuel Basallo is down there in AAA as, you know, obviously the team's top prospect. What have you heard and seen about his readiness maybe for the major leagues, and is the organization's plan to maybe give him more time, or do you think we could maybe see him if Adley does face an extended absence?
So we haven't talked about him, just to make it perfectly clear, but, you know, from my point of view, just as a development guy, I'm a long-term development guy, not necessarily this, but as a development guy, what I would love to see is him absolutely knock the door down. I don't think you take a guy like Sammy Basallo and you bring him to the big leagues just because there's a need. I think you bring a Sammy Basallo to the big leagues when he's destroyed AAA in all facets of the game, his at-bats, his defense, everything. So when he destroys AAA and he knocks the door down, to me, then he becomes part of the conversation. I don't personally think you bring a guy to the big leagues with that type of profile until that happens.
About the injury itself, this might be a medical question that you don't necessarily know the answer to. It was described as a tight abdomen. Yeah. Is it more oblique or side, or? I
don't feel comfortable differentiating between the two because I just don't know.
How impressive was that read on Mayo's single last night? The Calzer played. How impressive was it?
It's good eyes. I wrote it down. So I go through after every game, and I have my notepad, and I write down the games, and we talk about it. First game of the next series, for me, just kind of is teaching. At heart, I'm a teacher, right? Most coaches are. So to me, and that's how you build culture, playing the game the right way. So one of the notes, I was sitting there with Buck, and we were talking about it. That was one of the notes that I wrote down was Calzer saying. And as a unit, we talked about that probably 12 days ago about the importance of the read at second base, because it is so hard to get 2 consecutive hits in the big leagues against the pitching right now. So if you're at second base, and a guy flips a ball like that, you got to read the thing, because we need you to score. We can't hold you up at third base and next guy punches, the next guy pops out. It's really difficult. So we've emphasized it. We're working on it. You know, when you see the fruits of the labor a little bit, then it's great.